Hello readers, I am Amy. Today we are going to do Book It or Book It, where I'm talking about if I'm going to book a book or book it. So basically I've taken the two different meanings of booking it and saying we're either going to schedule it and I'm going to read it and I'm going to do the thing, or we're going to book it. Like, we're going to run off and just avoid this book altogether. It started off as an anti-haul, now it's just become kind of a talking about what's coming out thing. I'm trying to not buy as many books. It's not really working, but I'm trying to catch up a little more on books that I own. But regardless, I'm still interested in books that are coming out. So I will include the date if I see it. I used to take screenshots of the releases. Right now I'm just like looking up these as I go. I'm gonna cut out the slow parts. Let's start with A Slow Fire Burning. This is coming out on August 31st. Okay. Sorry, the book cover says A Slow Fire Burning. The article says A Slow Burning Fire. Regardless, this is by Paula Hawkins. And the reason I want to talk about this is I'm interested to see how it turns out. She's famous for The Girl on the Train, which I did like. It was like a psychological thriller. I was interested to see how it happened. But she wrote another book, Water something. It had a very cool cover, but honestly, I didn't hear a single good review about it. So those being the only two books that she's written, she's got one that she's loved for and one that she's not loved for. So I'm interested to see how A Slow Fire Burning turns out. It can be like 2 out of 3 hits or 2 out of 3 misses. We will see. I'm intrigued. This is a book I actually talked about a couple months ago, and it's listed on this website as coming out on August 3rd. So I don't know what's up with that. I guess I'm confused on the release date, but this is The Husbands by Chandler Baker. I remember that I wanted to read this. This is a wife feels like she has an unfair share of the domestic burden. It's a thriller. There's a wrongful death case. Learn how far these women are willing to go to get some help at home. So I am intrigued by that, but I'm wondering what's up with the book release date, since I talked about it several months ago, but we'll see. Louise Penny has another book. I haven't read any of her books yet. I think she's got like a series or something that Emily Fox is going through, but she's coming out with The Madness of Crowds. That is going to be released on August 24th. This one, again, it has like a fun cover. That's kind of why I'm pointing it out. But this is a memoir. It's Seeing Ghosts by Kat Chow. Searching for the source of sorrows that reverberate through generations, Kat Chow digs for the roots, unearthing the legacies of family dreams and cultural dissonance, preservation, and reconciliation. So I think that's going to be an interesting one. It sounds like she's going to have some stuff to say on like race and society and culture. And I love a good memoir because I like how personal it is compared to a lot of nonfiction, so might try and pick that one up. Stephen King has a new book coming out. It's Billy Summers. On its surface, King's latest novel is about a hired gun with a moral compass working one last job before retiring. The story is intense and the action is thrilling for sure, but this book is really a writer's journey, both literally and figuratively. We truly believe that we could take a fishbowl, add pieces of paper, each with an adjective, subject, and verb, and Stephen King would deliver the best, most fantastic story ever. Oh, okay. So it has a little bit about what the book's about and then how they feel about the book. Okay, regardless, Stephen King is coming out with a new book. With the description of this, I'm wondering if it's going to be like his On Writing one, where it's a memoir, but it's not a memoir. Or like it's about writing, but it's not about writing. That looks intriguing. I tend to like Stephen King's lesser known books. I might pick that up and see how it goes. I don't think I've read a single new Stephen King book, come to think of it. Then Silvia Moreno-Garcia. Gosh, what else did she... It's gonna bother me. I don't remember the name of her last book that she came out with, but she's coming out with another book. It's called Velvet Was the Night. Again, a very cool bit of cover art there. Velvet Was the Night is a rollicking work of historical noir with a vivid sense of time and place and an unforgettable cast. These are kind of just reviews that this site has listed, but regardless, I'm interested to see what people think about it. I I've read one of like the 2 books that she's come out with, and I wasn't like a huge fan of how it turned out, but the writing's good, so we'll see. I'll look at reviews before I end up picking that one up. Catherine Arden has a book coming out. They mentioned Small Spaces and Dead Voices. Neither of those sound familiar, but Catherine Arden, that name sounds really familiar. So I must have like read or seen something of hers, but she's coming out with a book called Dark Waters. It looks like it has a super creepy anglerfish on the cover. Returns with another creepy, spine-tingling adventure in this follow-up to the critically acclaimed Small Spaces and Dead Voices. So it's part of a series. Having met and outsmarted the smiling man, but fearful of when he'll come again, the trio are anxiously searching for a way to defeat him once and for all. So I'm guessing it's a trilogy that they're continuing. Lemony Snicket. Lemony Snicket has something coming out on August 31st. This is called Poison for Breakfast. And it's got a picture of a cracked egg and dead flowers. What? Oh, I thought Lemony Snicket was like just what the author was writing under for unfortunate events. I might have to pick this up. For more than 20 years, Lemony Snicket has led millions of young readers through a mysterious world of bewildering questions and unfortunate events. With this latest book, a love letter to readers young and old about the vagaries of real life, longtime fans and new readers alike will experience Snicket's distinctive voice in a new way. I'm going to have to read that. I haven't read Unfortunate Events for years, but I need to read that. I love it. Stephen Graham Jones has a new book coming out, My Heart is a Chainsaw. I had started The Only Good Indians, and I honestly wasn't super hooked on it, but I kind of want to pick up this book just for the name. My Heart is a Chainsaw. Like, that is a statement. In her quickly gentrifying rural lake town, Jade sees recent events only her encyclopedic knowledge of horror films could have prepared her for. In this latest novel from the Jordan Peele of horror literature. Okay, that is a statement. Shirley Jackson meets Friday the 13th. Intriguing. I might pick that up. Give him like another chance to see if I like his work, sort of a thing. So this looks like a new kind of horror thriller. This is a debut novel by Courtney Gould. It's called The Dead and the Dark. Once again, this book has captured me with its cover art. I love this kind of purpley pink cover, and I like the illustration in the smoke. It's beautifully done. So this is coming out August 3rd. Something is wrong in Snakebite, Oregon. Teenagers are disappearing, some turning up dead. The weather isn't normal, and all fingers seem to point to TV's most popular ghost hunters who have just returned to town. Logan Ortiz Woodley, daughter of TV's Paraspectors, has never been to Snakebite before, but the moment she and her dads arrive, she starts to get the feeling that there's more secrets buried here than they originally let on. Ashley Barton's boyfriend was the first teen to go missing, and she's felt his presence ever since. But now that the Ortiz Woodleys are in town, his ghost is following her, and the only person Ashley can trust is the mysterious Logan. When Ashley and Logan team up to figure out who or what is haunting Snakebite, their investigation reveals truths about the town, their families, and themselves that neither of them are ready for. Interesting. I feel like I don't read nearly as many thrillers as I want to, so I'm like, I need to pick up some thrillers, and that sounds like a good one. This one looks like a continuation? Yeah, okay, so for those of you who liked Raybearer, Jordan Ifueko, I'm sorry. It's the end of my day. So Jordan is coming out with a new book called Redemptor, continuing the same kind of style for the front cover. For the first time, an Empress Redemptor sits on Eritzar's throne. To appease the sinister spirits of the dead, Terese must now anoint a council of her own, coming into her full power as a Raybearer. She must then descend into the underworld, a sacrifice to end all future atrocities. I love a good underworld story. I haven't tried Raybearer yet. I might eventually, but I'm also not like a big fantasy reader. But if people still really like the series as it goes on. I might pick it up. So we have a vampire release. So if you know me but at all, I might have to pick this up. This is called Vampires, Hearts, and Other Dead Things. I don't read a lot of romance. I'm guessing this is a romance, but I do read a lot of vampires. So this is a heart-wrenching debut YA novel that's the coldest girl in Cold Town meets They Both Die at the End. So I've never read either of those, and I'm not a huge YA reader, but I might read this regardless. Let's see what it's about. Victoria and her dad have shared a love of the undead since the first vampire revealed his existence on live TV. That's a choice. I hope that went well for them. Public fear soon drove the vampires back into hiding, yet Victoria and her father still dream about finding a vampire together. But when her dad is diagnosed with terminal cancer, it's clear that's not going to happen. Victoria vows to find a vampire herself so that she can become one and then save her father. Armed with research, speculations, and desperation, and helped by her estranged best friend, Henry, Victoria travels to New Orleans in search of a miracle. Then she meets Nicholas, a mysterious young man who might give her what she desires. But first, he needs Victoria to prove she loves life enough to live forever. That's reading to me like a love triangle kind of book. I don't know. I changed my mind. I don't think I'm going to read that one. But if that sounds like something you would enjoy, by all means, pick it up and give it a try. We have a supernatural thriller coming out by Ginny Myers Sane. It's called Dark and Shallow Lies. A teen girl disappears from her small town deep in the bayou, where magic festers beneath the surface of the swamp like water rot, in this chilling debut supernatural thriller for fans of Natasha Preston, Karen McManus, and Rory Power. I think I've heard of Karen McManus. I haven't heard of the other two. Forestborn, which I also thought Forestborn was already out. I know Hillary's talked about this book. Regardless, Forestborn is on here, so if you thought that sounded interesting, pick it up. Rora is a shifter as magical as all those born in the wilderness, and as feared. She uses her abilities to spy for the king, traveling under different guises and listening for signs of trouble. When a magical illness surfaces across the kingdom, Rora uncovers a devastating truth. Finley, the young prince and her best friend, has caught it too. His only hope is stardust, the rarest of magical elements, found deep in the wilderness where Rora grew up, and to which she swore never to return. That's one I might pick that up. Apparently Hillary knows the author personally, which is really awesome. And then we have a magical school book. This is another young adult. I think most of them on this particular website are young adult. This is called The Witch Haven by Sasha Payton Smith. In 1911, New York City, 17-year-old Frances Hallowell spends her days as a seamstress, mourning the mysterious death of her brother months prior. Everything changes when she's attacked, and a man ends up dead at her feet, her scissors in his neck, and she can't explain how they got there. Before she can be condemned as a murderess, two cape-wearing nurses arrive to inform her she is deathly ill and ordered to report to Haxahaven Sanitarium. But Frances finds Haxahaven isn't a sanitarium at all. It's a school for witches. Within Haxahaven's glittering walls, Frances finds the sisterhood she craves, but the headmistress warns Frances that magic is dangerous. Frances has no interest in the small, safe magic of her school, and is instead enchanted by Finn, a boy with magic himself, who appears in her dreams and tells her he can teach her all she's been craving to learn. That's the cat trying to escape. Lessons that may bring her closer to discovering what truly happened to her brother. Might pick it up. Again, I don't read a lot of YA, but it does capture my interest. So that was just a quick look at releases in August. If something sounds interesting to you, pick it up. If not, talk about it in the comments, whatever you want to do. Please like, subscribe, be my friend on social media. I will see all of you in my next video. Bye, friends.